Are you about to hire a home appraiser in Illinois and want to make absolutely sure they're the real deal? Well, stick around because in this explainer, we're going to see how a simple 2-minute online search can literally save you thousands of dollars. It's all about securing your property's true value and protecting what is likely your biggest investment from some massive financial headaches down the road. Let's get right into it. Before you let just anyone walk through your front door with a clipboard to evaluate your property, you've really got to put on your investigator hat. Doing a bit of due diligence guarantees that the person telling the bank what your home is actually worth has the legal authority to do so. Handing over a real estate transaction to an unverified professional, that is one of the most common yet completely avoidable mistakes a buyer or seller can make. So here's our agenda for today to get you hiring with absolute confidence. We're going to quickly cover why appraisal licenses matter, the specific types of Illinois licenses, how to actually verify them, how to decode your search results, and finally, avoiding those common hiring mistakes. Section 1. Why appraisal licenses matter. Let's look at the high stakes of real estate valuation. So, the state of Illinois and federal regulations absolutely require you to use a licensed professional, and there's a very good reason for that. Think of a real estate appraiser as your frontline defense against real estate fraud and artificially inflated markets. They're independent, totally unbiased professionals who provide an objective assessment of what a property is actually worth. By doing this, they make sure your mortgage loan is based on reality, not just guesswork. This protects both you, the consumer, and the federally regulated financial institutions backing the loan. And listen, the Illinois Real Estate Appraiser Licensing Act does not mess around. Hiring an unlicensed appraiser isn't just a tiny administrative oopsie, it's a serious legal violation. If an unlicensed individual performs an appraisal, they are guilty of a Class A misdemeanor right out of the gate. And if they do it again, boom, Class 4 felony. That kind of legal mess can completely invalidate your entire real estate transaction. No way you want to deal with that. Section 2, Illinois Appraiser License Types, and knowing exactly what to look for. Okay, when you go to look up a license, pay super close attention to the prefix. It's like a secret code. If the license starts with 557, they're an associate trainee. That means they absolutely cannot work unsupervised or sign reports alone. Now, a 556 prefix, that indicates a certified residential appraiser who is cleared for any 1 to 4 unit residential property, regardless of the value. And then we have the 553 prefix. That is the top tier, certified general. These folks can appraise literally all property types, including complex commercial buildings and agricultural land. There are some incredibly strict state and federal guardrails in place to ensure that anyone holding a valid 556 or 553 license is highly qualified. They are strictly regulated by the Division of Real Estate under the Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation, usually just called the IDFPR. To put this in perspective, achieving that top-tier 553 certified general status takes a massive 300 hours of education and 3,000 hours of experience. So when you verify that license, you're verifying years of hard work and strict compliance with federal standards like USPAP, the Uniform Standards of Professional Appraisal Practice. Moving on to Section 3. How to verify a license. Let's walk through the exact investigator steps. By following 4 straightforward steps on the IDFPR's online MicroPact portal, you totally bypass any third-party guesswork and get your facts straight from the state regulatory authority. You simply navigate to the portal, select real estate from the board drop-down menu, punch in the appraiser's legal name or exact license number, solve the little CAPTCHA security image, and hit submit. Honestly, the whole shebang takes less than 2 minutes, but the peace of mind it gives you is absolutely priceless. Now, here is a really crucial pro tip for step 3. If you're searching by license number, it has to be exactly 9 digits, entered continuously. Seriously, if you throw in any hyphens, slashes, or periods, the system will completely fail to find them and you'll come up empty-handed. Just type those 9 numbers straight through. And here's another common trap people fall into. When you're using the Lookup tool, make sure you leave the state geographic drop-down filter completely blank. Why? Well, if you restrict the search just to Illinois, you might accidentally filter out a fully qualified appraiser who holds an active reciprocal license, but just happens to live right across the border in Indiana or Wisconsin. Section 4. Decoding your search results and understanding what the evidence actually means. So pulling the record is only half the battle, right? You have to know what you're actually looking at. What you strictly want to see is an active status. That means the appraiser currently holds a valid, legally compliant credential to perform valuations. If the result says inactive, and that includes expired, surrendered, revoked, or suspended, they are legally prohibited from developing or signing an appraisal report in Illinois. full stop, no exceptions. Now, once you confirm they are indeed active, click into their detailed profile for a deeper dive. Check out the original issue date to get a feel for their years of experience. You'll also want to verify the current expiration date so you know their license isn't going to lapse right in the middle of your mortgage underwriting. And definitely, absolutely look out for any specific discipline flags. That's going to indicate past regulatory issues you really need to be aware of. And of course, double check that their license prefix, like we talked about, the 556 or 553, matches the complexity of your specific property. All right, Section 5, avoiding common hiring mistakes to truly protect your investment. The biggest mistake you can make is assuming an appraiser is just a one-size-fits-all professional. They aren't. Always match their specific credential limit to your unique needs. For example, never, ever hire a 556 certified residential appraiser for complex commercial property. That strictly requires a 553. Also, be smart with your search terms. Always search the database using their formal legal name, never casual nicknames, and don't use doing business as or DBA titles. You need to use the registered corporate name. Oh, and remember, do not hire a 557 trainee to work unsupervised. Finally, a great habit is cross-referencing your state data with the ASC National Appraiser Registry. Speaking of which, for a fantastic second layer of security, you've got to check out the ASC National Appraiser Registry. This tool is a total game changer. It allows you to search over 340,000 appraiser records federally. You can cross-reference your state data, double-check their FHA approval status, and you can even subscribe to daily email alerts just in case their license status changes overnight. How cool is that? Finally, Section 6, final tips and disclaimer. As we wrap up this explainer, I just want to remind you that the information we've covered today is strictly for educational purposes and does not constitute professional, legal, or real estate advice. Always consult with a dedicated, qualified professional for personalized guidance regarding your specific property transaction. So now that you're totally empowered with the knowledge and the exact tools to verify your appraiser in Illinois, it kind of makes you wonder, who else in your real estate transaction needs a thorough background check? Your broker? The home inspector? The power is right there in your hands to ensure every single person on your team is verified and legally credentialed. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy investigating.